So welcome to Tallinn, the capital city of Estonia. Just had a lovely time catching up with MK, who served as an intern at St. James Church in Carlisle a few years ago, and MK lives here in Tallinn, so just spent an hour and a half with her. So really lovely to see her again, and now off to explore this beautiful city. Lovely little place. MK tells me it's packed full of tourists in summer, but I must admit I don't think it's too bad at the moment. There are one or two cruise ships in port, so you get lots of people from cruise ships touring around the city, but generally speaking it's not bad. And first impressions of Tallinn, it's a really beautiful city, very compact, easy to walk around. So yeah, let's go and explore the capital of Estonia. So behind me we have Freedom Square. So the building behind me is Estonia's Parliament building, and the thing that surprises me about it is there seems to be very little sign of security compared to, say, the Parliament building in London. There's no guards, no obvious security outside it at all. So I've just stumbled across this beautiful little church here in Tallinn, and I'm having to read the notice board. It is the Ukrainian Catholic Church, which is a Byzantine Rite Eastern Catholic Church in full communion with the Holy See. Beautiful little church. Yeah, just stumbled across it, and extraordinary building as well. They've got a subterranean level, and the floor is designed so that they can close off the floor with a roller. I'll try and show it to you. And they what would you call it? The fencing, I suppose, to stop people falling into this gap, obviously is designed to come down and create a base on which the floor goes over. I don't know if that's obvious here, but look. obviously designed to come down, and then they can put the floor here. So I'll just show you this interesting contraption. So this behind me is the floor. There's a wheel to raise it and lower it, and that's the floor. So presumably when they're holding a service and they want more space upstairs, they roll the floor up so they can have extra seating. And it's got these beautiful little icons, paintings, not sure what you call them really, but beautiful. It's all to do with creation. And just around on this side, got painted eggs. And these are exquisite. I don't know if the camera really shows it, but the detail, artistry, I mean, just look at this, it must have taken hours to make. Stunning. So protests outside the Russian embassy here in Tallinn. So this abandoned structure that I'm exploring was constructed for the 1980 Moscow Olympics. Moscow needed somewhere to hold the sailing events for their Olympic Games, and so they decided to hold it here in Tallinn, which was then part of the Soviet Union. And they built this place, this conference centre and concert centre for holding the Olympics, and it was abandoned in 2010. And despite plans to redevelop it, it's fallen into disrepair. It's in a prime location here in Tallinn, ports just to my right, city centre just a few minutes walk away. So it seems extraordinary, this prime real estate, it's just being left to fall into disrepair. Lots of people here just watching the sunset. Good location to see the city from and look out to the sea. But it's extraordinary to think that they've just let this fall into disrepair. Apparently they had seating for over 4,000 people in a concert venue, and you can Google it and see what it used to be like. It was really impressive, and now it's this. I can't really see how anyone's going to take this on. I think the only future for this site is if they sadly demolish it and build something else on its site. As I say, it's prime real estate. But yeah, a bit of fun urban exploring. So that's the end of day one in Tallinn. It's been a good day. It's been a very hot, sticky day, so I'm gonna head back to my accommodation, get some food and get a shower. Just been reflecting on the fact that Helsinki and Tallinn are much further north than probably I've ever been before in my life, further north than mainland Scotland. But when I was in Scotland after Easter, right on the tip of Scotland overlooking Orkney, I felt like I was really in the north. I felt like I was at that edge, couldn't go any further. Here it doesn't feel that way, it feels different. You know, anyway, just a silly little observation. Can't go that way. Building everywhere here in Tallinn. But yeah, it's been a good day. It's been an interesting day. Tallinn's a lovely city. I said earlier it wasn't too busy, but I hadn't realised that I said that before the cruise ship arrived, and then of course the cruise ship arrived and suddenly the place became rammed full of tourists. So ship's just gone now, so city should be a little bit quieter, but I'm going to call it a day, go back and do a bit of reading, I think. Just walking back to the apartment, and looks like they're extending the tram line so it goes to the ferry terminal, which will make life a bit simpler for folk. Just walking through the port area, lots of modern office buildings or flats going up behind me, and some nice boats in the marina. It's nice to be able to afford something like that. How the other half live. fascinating mix of old and new styles here, where they've redeveloped some of the old warehouses and built new buildings around here right next to the port. Very swanky. So just come to visit the Maritime Museum here in Tallinn. If you're interested in boats, which I am, really good place to come. Got a few boats that you can go on to. So just looking at what they've got on offer. I spent a year working for an organisation called the Mission to Seafarers, and my job was to go on board ships that came into the port of Auckland in New Zealand, meet the crew, support them and so forth. So I've always had this fascination about the sea and a pull, really, I think, to the sea. I even thought about being a naval chaplain at one point. So I love messing around on boats, love messing around on water, so great fun to be able to walk in these boats. And according to what I've just read, this was originally built for the Finnish Navy and then was given to the Estonian Navy and was used as a minesweeper and as an anti-submarine vessel, and then finished its life as a training vessel for the Estonian Navy in 2006. So I'm on board a ship here moored outside the museum, and this used to be an icebreaker, so I'm in the engine room at the moment, which goes up 3 decks. So I'm now in the boiler room, and this ship used to be powered by coal, and before they converted it to liquid fuel, it used to burn between 40 to 60 tons of coal a day. And quite impressive sight, actually, just to stand next to these boilers. So it underwent a refit in the early 1950s, and they switched it from coal to liquid fuel, which must have made life for the engineers down here a lot easier. So it's quite impressive. The engines run all the way down the length of the ship, and I think that's partly because it's an icebreaker. It needed that additional power to operate when the sea was frozen. I said engineers earlier, I should have said stokers as well. It's stokers that operate the engines, and particularly when it's coal-fired, not engineers, stokers.